Dancing for the Devil, the 7M TikTok Cult is an all-new Netflix documentary series. So today, let's see if it's worth your time. Hey everybody, my name's Justin here. I try to watch everything that hits theaters and on streaming services like Netflix. If you guys are like me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and click that bell notification for more up and coming content. A group of prominent TikTok dancers are trapped in a cult masquerading as a management company called 7M. Among them is Miranda Wilking, whose family is desperately trying to get their daughter out. As other dancers and former members escaped and worked to rebuild their lives, it isn't until they come together to try and put a stop to the cycle of their abuser that the real healing begins. Now, I didn't really know too much about the story of Miranda Wilking and her sister Melanie that were pretty popular on TikTok. One of them joined a management company called 7M for TikTokers, and it also was a church. And the other sister didn't want to join that. There was some conflict amongst the two, to the point that the one sister that had joined this management company, this church, had cut off all ties from her mother and father and her sister, still uploading on TikTok, refused to talk about what was happening, and other members were doing the same exact thing. Then we had past members that had come out and said that they were abused and the money that they were making was going to the church and that they were being taken advantage of. I wasn't on TikTok in 2020 when this all went down. I just recently started uploading on TikTok this year and really just diving deep into the app. I really do like TikTok. It's a lot of fun. But not knowing too much of the story, I really do appreciate Netflix's documentary style, 3 episodes, introducing the subject, really diving deep into it in the middle episode, the second episode, and then giving us our conclusion at the end. It does a nice job setting up the sisters and how they had this really strong bond, their time on TikTok together, how famous they had got, but also looking at all the other members that had joined this group as well, their TikToks as well. Since it is such a fresh subject, you are able to implement their TikToks into the documentary alongside interviews. But in the beginning, you get that bond that's very strong between the two of them. You see that they rely on each other, and even when one goes off to join this management company, they still work together, and eventually one cuts ties. And that's where a lot of the drama does come forth, is what is exactly happening behind the closed doors. So much that this group has to eat certain kind of food on certain days. They have to dance to more classic music rather than current music. The one behind it all, Robert, is the one that's like the pastor. He is controlling everything. And we do hear some audio clips of what is going on. And once they become more comfortable and this management company, that's where he becomes more controlling, and that's where it feels like it's more sinister. So the setup is really nice when you look at the sisters, and then you start to really unpeel what had happened between them, and then eventually lead into this management company that is also a church. And I understand why a lot of people that had joined this management company, they had moved to California, they wanted to be really popular on TikTok, they wanted to be closer to God, and they thought by joining this management company that was also a church would lead them closer to God. And the pastor, Robert, promised that, if you're doing all this and you're giving to the church, you're going to get closer to God by being connected to me. You are now being connected to God. And so it's masquerading as like this cult. You have a lot of interviews of family members and people that were part of this management company. I really did appreciate that, because you're getting a lot of emotional conversations as they are reliving what had happened to them, and it just adds a lot of depth to this story. It's a really creepy story when you look at people being controlled through the use of media, TikTok, and then taking advantage of them, controlling what they're eating, controlling where they're sleeping. But this series does expose tactics used by cult-like organizations to control people, as well as the length family members go through to try to get back their loved ones. It's really emotional when you look at these families, especially mothers and fathers, that just want to protect their children, and then seeing what they're going through and not knowing exactly what is happening, that's really hard to listen to, and Netflix does a great job capturing all of that. So by not knowing too much of the stories surrounding Miranda and Melanie, which seemed like it was going to be the focus in the beginning, it dives so much deeper into other friends of theirs and other TikTok stars that were affected by all of this. It does a great job setting up the story, giving us our conclusion, wrapping everything up, giving us answers to everything we had questioned about throughout the series. I really like Netflix's style of documentaries. It doesn't feel like it's overstaying its welcome. 3 episodes, you get to the point, you get all the bulk of the story, you get your conclusion, and that is it, and it works well for this documentary. So before I give you my score for Dancing for the Devil, the 7M TikTok cult, make sure to check out my channel. Here I do movie reviews, trailer reactions, ranking videos, tier lists, all that fun movie related content that you see on YouTube. I do it all here, so hit that subscribe button to get it all in one spot. I'm going to go ahead and give Dancing for the Devil, the 7M TikTok cult, a B. Thank you guys for checking out my review for this new documentary series on Netflix. Have you guys seen it by chance? What'd you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below, and stay tuned for more up and coming content like this. My name is Justin Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.